Good morning, and again, welcome to the webinar training session for JPB Associates. This particular session is going to go through some tools that you have access to, things that are at your fingertips, and also stuff that I have that I will provide for you. Now, all the materials that we're going to go over here today on the screen, I can send these to you. All you'd have to do is email me. Most of you have my email, jim@onesolutionforlife.com. Just disclose the forms that you would like. Now, I say that phrase simply because there are going to be people that watch this webinar later this year, next year, or even the year after that on our YouTube channel. But everybody that is with JPB today at this point is going to get an email immediately after this session is over. I've already got the email set up, and it's going to have all of the materials that you'll see on this webinar that you can use or amend or contact me so that I can get you the template to be able to amend it for your purposes. Now, last week we talked about lead generation. If you're watching this at a different time, I would definitely recommend that you go back, watch lead generation before you watch this particular session, because as you develop your marketing strategies in this business, as we get going, or even as an experienced agent in this business, in building your practice, the materials that you have access to are constantly changing. Now, most of these materials are free, and they're right in front of us. We just need to dig for them. They're out there, but sometimes they're hidden amongst a lot of other information within the companies that we represent. Now, most of the information you're going to see here is going to come from one particular company, but all companies have very similar information that can be amended to represent you as the advisor. So I'll be showing you where to find these. And again, as we go through it, if you haven't watched or listened to the lead generation session that we had, go to the YouTube channel, take a look at it. It is on there along with all of our other training sessions. I'd be remiss if I didn't start off with one of the most important tools that we have within the JPB family and the Live America family. And that's really what differentiates us from the competition. Living benefits are, in my arena, what kept me in the business through the 2007, 8, 9 crash. They are what distinguish us. Now, most of us have had these living benefits since around 2006, and we thought, or at least I thought, that these would only be around for about 2 or 3 years exclusively to us before the competition caught up. What we found 12, 13 years later is that living benefits are still only offered by a handful of companies, and we represent most of those companies, and 2 of the best that offer them up to $2 million. So one of the most important tools that we have is the ability to show how we can help people in a different way than some of the other advisors out there in our industry. This is one of the claims that I may have shared with some of you previously, but you will have a copy of this. I have it laminated. And if you look at this claim, you can use this because I have blacked out all the pertinent information that is specific to this client. But as you can see, this was a claim paid out in September of 2019, just a little over 2 months ago. This was a $150,000 claim where the client was only paying $13 a month, and the company offered her $120,000. I have others that I have no problem sharing with you that also have had information blacked out that you can put inside your packet and use it each time you want to explain to a client how different your products are over what they may have or what they may be looking at. Now, one of the things that agents look for when they come in the business is a fact finder. Now, some agents go out and try to reinvent the wheel and create their own, but most companies have fact finders. They have their own little spin on them. At Live America with JPB, we've created one for you. And I don't know if everybody has seen it yet that's on this call. So I'm going to go over some basics on it and just go through some of the things that make it unique. One of the things I like about a fact finder when I use mine is I like the simplistic form of a fact finder, because depending on where you're at with that client, you may not want to get too detailed, or you may want to get very specific on what their situation is, where they're at in life. This fact finder is an individual fact finder that starts off with some basic information for you on the 3 things that we cover within our life insurance. And that is if you die too soon, that's the life insurance everybody offers, the live too long, which is the living benefits that make us different, and the get sick along the way. And you've got the statistics here to back it up. The fact finder, being basic, asks the personal information. Then it goes into, and I love this question, because when you ask people what their most valuable possession, most people will think about their house, maybe their boat, their car, the materialistic possessions, but what about the income that they make every single day that they go to work? And then it leads right into the rest of their information, from their occupation to their assets, and it distinguishes all the different types of assets so that you don't forget to ask if they have a 401k, if they have a Roth IRA, any defined benefits or pension plans. Then we proceed on to what their coverage is. What kind of insurance do they have? Then what are their goals? As you can see, very simple, very easy. Doesn't really intimidate not only the client, but it doesn't intimidate the agent. And then you can go into, on this page, if you choose to, what their opinion is, how important something is to them. And you can ask these different questions and gauge from a scale of 1 to 10 how important these things are to your client to help you get through the process of figuring out what you need to talk about with that particular client. And as you can see, it's a pretty short fact finder for you. Nails the specifics of what we need to know to help our clients, but finishes off with a monthly or an income that they can spend to achieve all their goals. And then, of course, a page for notes where you can document stuff. And I definitely recommend using this for and try to create or make that sale. Jumping over to some stuff that we talked about last week. We went over email and social media marketing. Now, we can create our own phrases, we can create our own pictures, we can cut and paste, but there's a lot of stuff that is right there for you to utilize without you having to do much more than taking the information and moving it to wherever you want to move it to get your name and your word out there to the public. Now, I went to AIG's site because it is an absolutely huge site filled with information. And as you can see, this is part of your home page. This is your agent portal. And across the top, you have a tab that's labeled Marketing. Under that, you've got life insurance marketing and annuity marketing. We're going to go to the life insurance marketing tab. So if you hit that tab, there is a page that is much larger than this. There are about 30 different places you can go. I only screenshot here one part of it that actually has 7 different places that you can go. And this is probably a third of the way down the page. you would scroll down to marketing and prospecting, and you would get to life insurance awareness materials. If you click on that tab, you're going to come to this page. Now, this is only a portion of that page also, but in the middle of the page, you're going to have social media marketing, newsletter content, and email content. If you click on social media calendar, not content, social media calendar, how many of you would like to do either a daily or a weekly marketing campaign that you can send out via LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter? Everything is here for you. If you look here, you've got 7 days. Now, it goes beyond 7 days. It goes to day 8, 9, 10, 11. I just wanted to give you an idea of what's right here at your fingertips, that all you have to do is utilize these links on this page and move them with very little effort. You can get your word out there to the masses within your LinkedIn account, your Facebook, or your Twitter account. Or you can do it on a daily or weekly basis. You can take day 1, send out the LinkedIn, the Facebook, and the Twitter. You can go day 2 or week 2 and send out week 2 here. You've got multiple pieces of information here at your fingertips that you can use to move to those 3 social media marketplaces. Now, again, there is another opinion. This is my opinion, and I said this in the other sessions we've had. If you overload everybody strictly with business, you might run them away. So I caution you that as you market yourself, remember, you are marketing you, not the companies you represent. You're marketing who you are. So make sure that on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook, on your Twitter, that you mix in different things that are personal related, not business related, to keep people engaged with you and not you, the agent. If you go back to the other page and you select email content, you're going to have here, and I did not blow these up, you don't necessarily have to read these, but if you select email content, these are just 6 different email campaigns that you can utilize at the touch of a button that can be sent out to the people that you email to. Now, be cautious. You've got to make sure that you do not violate I'm losing my train of thought here, but you know what I mean when I say sending out bulk emails. You got to be very protective of that. And if you do send out emails to several people, you do need to put down at the bottom an opt out of that email. And if somebody opts out, you've got to take them off your email list. But these are at your fingertips to use very easily. You can do them every morning to get the word out there and market yourself. Now, on that same page, this is scrolling down a little bit on that page, you've got banners and infographics that you can utilize. From you're never too young for life insurance to family is not an important thing, it's everything. You click on these, you've got banner ads that you can utilize, whether you put them in an event setting, which we've talked about in our lead generation session, or you use them in a seminar setting. You also got the infographics that you can use that give statistics on life's unexpected expenses, and life insurance equals big expenses, ? Very good information right there at your fingertips for you, and you can also personalize this information. Now, flyers. You know, we talked about doing mortgage leads. We've talked about doing new birth leads. We've talked about a lot of different lead generation activities. But to have something that you can hand out, leave on a door, have on your table, somewhere at your seminar, whatever you're doing, free of charge, that is personalized, is priceless. And there are plenty of different flyers that you can choose from. These are only 8 of them. And for example, if you come down to the bottom right, The second one there from the right is life insurance with mortgage protection. What I've done here is I've taken that flyer, and in the bottom left, you'll see for more information. All I had to do is click on that flyer and put my information down in that box and print. And I've got a flyer that's personalized, already made up for me. Yes, it has the AIG logo. If you're soliciting other companies, we can show you where the other companies' flyers are. We can co-brand these with JPB and Associates, or your co-branding that you personally have, to be able to utilize these in whatever marketing stream that you're doing at that time. But personalized flyers, this took me, once I found it, it took me 15 seconds to type in my information and print it up. And I could have these to either door hang or use at my event, the flea market, or seminar, or whatever it is I'm doing. A little bit further down that same page are videos. Now, these are all short videos, so they can keep your client or prospect's attention, that you can send to people. Now, I don't know if I would send these out in masses. That's just my opinion. These, I think, are more personalized videos that you can send to people, like the one on the left here in the middle that says Living Benefits Life Insurance. A very good video that explains how life insurance with living benefits works in a very short period of time, where if you wanted to just give somebody some information, you could send this via email to somebody and say, hey, I've got some great information here on this video. Why don't you take a look at it? This one on the right of it, all the way to the right, the road to retirement. Yes, and Pete, you're right. Add it to your Facebook page. Add the videos to your Facebook page. And Pete is a lot more technical than I am. He knows a lot more that you can do with this. Pete, if you have anything to chime in on this, please do, because I may be missing out on some easy things that they can do with this stuff. But this road to retirement is an excellent IUL short video. I've shown it in previous sessions, but I tell you, I would go in there and watch it yourself. It's a great one to send to the younger generation that need to start planning for retirement today. Now, mailers and door hangers. It doesn't matter what you're marketing to, whether it's new birth, annuities, mortgage protection. There are so many different options out there. What we have here with JPB are a few of them that I want to share with you, but we have much more. This right here is a mortgage mail out, personalized on the JPB letterhead. Can have your information as associate partner in the upper right hand corner, and all you have to do, because I have the template, is put the date, the prospect's name, and then your name at the bottom. But it talks about them protecting their mortgage. Congratulations on buying the house. But if you look down at the bottom, it says, let me show you how to help pay your mortgage debt if something were to happen to you or the income you receive, and a way to help pay off your mortgage years in advance. That tab right there, pay off your mortgage years in advance, is an IUL. Instead of funding a mortgage and putting $200 extra in it a month to pay it off early, put that $200 extra into an IUL and pay it off within a 20 to 22 year period on average. That's what that's referring to, in case you had the question. Here's another personalized mailer. This one is a new birth mailer. Congratulations on the new joy in your home. And it talks about how, this might not be the newest member of your family, but one thing is certain: financial security and life insurance are more important. Outstanding. and I have done this, to send to a mobile home park. And again, to get the names and addresses to people, all you need is a library card. You can go in there and pull up streets within a mobile home park and mail them to all the people in that park, a 55 and up community. Mail this to all the people in that community. You might have to do a little bit of legwork on your side to get the information, but the only cost to you is the stamp, the envelope, and printing out the form. We have additional mailers on annuities. We have some for strictly for employers. We have some for employee 401ks and employee benefits. We also have some for long-term care alternatives, which is our chronic illness inside of our life insurance, of course. Also, long-term care alternative could be our 4Care annuity with Global Atlantic. Now, when we went over lead generation, one of the things that we talked about that I think is, to me, is a must when you are building a practice. And if you've already built a practice, I challenge you to see if you can immediately fill out this sheet with one person in every single one of these categories. Because if you've been in the business for some time, try filling it out and see if you have any empty spaces. See if you have anybody in any one of these arenas that you might want to develop a relationship with. But this is also being sent to you, and it has on here the property and casualty agents, the CPAs, tax preparers, the pastors, the health agents, the attorneys, the real estate agents, title company manager, HR manager, and I challenge you to put one name, put their number and email. But then on the right-hand side, this one is important. It's not referrals that they have given you. This is referrals you have given them. And you can just put a little line there every time you've given them a referral to keep track of how many referrals you've given any individual person. But more importantly, so that when you go back and start asking them for referrals, you know that you have provided value to their business before you even attempted to ask for value in your business. That will strengthen that relationship that you will carry for years to come. And I've said this before, and I'll say this again. In most of these categories, not all of them, but in most of these categories, you may only want one person. The reason being, for example, I will use a health insurance agent that does health insurance only. How would you feel if your main relationship in the health insurance arena was referring life or annuity business to you and to somebody else? It's the same thing as if you were referring health insurance to them and another health insurance agent. Not bad, but not necessarily the best, what I would call monogamous business relationship where you guys can share your referrals with each other and help each other grow your business. Same with things like a property and casualty agent. People are very protective of their business, and we are too. I would not want to be dealing with a property and casualty agent that is referring other business to other people, or maybe even has the ability to share my clients with that other agent at some point in the future. But this right here could be the start of any new agent's career or help any experienced agent as they move along to build more prospects and build their practice. Now I'm working on this right now, and I want to give you a taste of it. But I was asked to do a PowerPoint presentation for someone's church. And what I've done, one second here. Okay. what I've done is I've started the PowerPoint presentation, and I want to give you an idea of what it could look like for you. Now, it doesn't just need to be a religious organization. It could be any other seminar type setting or group type setting where you may want assistance with having something that you can present. But this one here would have the JPB Associates logo, or if you're co-branded with another logo, it can have your logo. It would have your name, associate partner. And then this particular slideshow that I started off with, I'll just give you a couple lines here. What I've done here is it's specifically about life insurance, because the pastor has asked us to come in there and talk about life insurance to the congregation. Now, while you love your church and your church loves you, it is not their responsibility to take care of our final expenses. For this reason, I've been invited in to talk to you about the different types of life insurance and how they may be able to help you and your family at a time when you need it the most. Life insurance is an essential part of our financial portfolio and can be very affordable. Let's take a look. That's just the start, but it goes into talking about the different types of life insurance. It talks about using it for their final expenses, but it also talks about using that insurance as a future gift to the church after the person is gone. I do not have a problem making out different presentations, different PowerPoints. If you have a presentation that you're going to be making to a group of people, just get with me, email me, call me, and let me know what your intention is for that particular seminar or group of people, and we'll make that up together. I've got one more tool that I found very interesting in searching around with some of the stuff that I've used in the past and some of the advisors I've talked to have used. This sheet will be in your email. You know, this is a timed presentation, but the other day I heard a great phrase, and that phrase was, assume everybody has a 401k. And ask everybody you talk to, what did you do with your old 401k? If they don't have one, they'll tell you. If they have one, it may open up conversation about where we can move that money to, and it can get you into the annuity marketplace if you're not already in it, or get you more sales if you are. This is another tool right here. And I finish our meeting off with this. This is a savings bond tool. I don't know if you know this, but most savings bonds, there are a lot of savings bonds out there that only earn interest for a certain period of time. Now, there's not a lot of people out there buying savings bonds anymore, but there are a lot of grandparents or great-grandparents out there with these savings bonds sitting in a drawer somewhere. And the ones that bought them didn't just buy one a lot of times. They bought several over a period of years for their kids or grandkids, and they either kept them in the drawer or they gave them to them. If those savings bonds are still out there, use this chart and just ask the question, what did you do with your old savings bonds? If they don't have any, they'll tell you. If they have them, and they even answer the question that they have them, they still maintain them, pull the chart out and say, are they still earning interest? When's the last? Because you might have an investment sitting there that is earning zero money that we can transition to something to continue to make you money. On the top, it's got the bonds that are no longer earning interest. And on the bottom, it's got the bonds and how long they earn interest. Just another great tool for your toolbox. Hopefully, this session has helped give you some ideas and materials that you can use in your practice. The page that we were on with AIG is filled with information that I could sit here and go over for 3 hours. But I challenge you to go in there, and no matter what marketing strategy you're using, Look for something that is at your fingertips that you can print, copy, paste, move, or do whatever you need to do to make it personalized for your practice. And I'll finish this by saying one last thing. Market yourself every day in at least one way, no matter what that one way is. That one way might be sending a personal thank you to every single one of your clients that has nothing to do with any product, business, or service that you offer. Or it may be one of these videos or flyers or pages that we went over here. But every single day, wake up and market. I do want to say one last thing. I'm going to stop the recording here.